Hey guys, let's make some Freekeh Pilaf, better known as green wheat pilaf or Freekeh Pilaf. Let's start by taking out our Freekeh from our lovely soda bottle. These are from Palestine. And the Freekeh is also treated with olive oil and salt just to preserve it, so we're also going to wash that off. Before we do that, we want to sift through the Freekeh to look for any rocks, stones, or any particles that we don't want. There could be little branches or just little stems. You know, this is a grain and it's very natural. It hasn't been processed very well, so we need to just make sure there's nothing in there that we don't want. So if you can see, I put it on a baking sheet. I'm going through it, and then once I take it from one end to the other, kind of skimming through it, I'll go back the other way and take out any ones that I might have missed. And we're almost ready. Let's now get it into a bowl so we can wash it. Washing it is a little tedious just because it's gonna still look like murky water. Again, this is a grain and they do have olive oil on them, so it's not gonna look like clear water as rice would when you wash it, but at the same time you'll be able to see that there's not a lot of particles floating to the surface, and I'll show you what that looks like in just a minute. Let me just finish getting this into the bowl. As you're putting water into the bowl, just wiggle your fingers through it and you're gonna see that some particles start to come to the surface. And you're just gonna do this a couple of times. If you watch carefully, you'll see some things that float to the surface, and that's usually the unwanted particles that I didn't get when I was going through it. See those floating on top? Some of them might be just hollow shells of the wheat, and I might have poured some perfectly good wheat overboard, but it's okay. I should have used a strainer, but it's okay. And I'm just gonna do this a few times and make sure that no floating particles are coming to surface. Again, guys, the water is gonna look murky, but that doesn't mean it's dirty. And once the particles stop coming to surface, I'm just gonna soak my Freekeh for about 35 to 45 minutes. When it's ready to use, I'm gonna use a strainer to strain it, and then I will show y'all what I do. Alright, so now in a pot, we've got our olive oil, and we're gonna add to it our strained and soaked Freekeh, our green wheat. We're gonna add in our seasoning. You can put beef, chicken, or vegetable bouillon just for flavor. You can replace it with salt if you don't want bouillon. We're gonna put some allspice and black pepper, mix it together, and then we're gonna add in our pre-measured hot water. Just as you would make with a rice pilaf, you're going to add in the water and let it come to a rolling boil. And in this case, instead of 20 minutes like we do for rice, you're gonna keep it covered for 30 minutes. So now that it's bubbling, we're gonna cover it, lower the heat, and let me show y'all 30 minutes later. Just give it a light stir. You're gonna see a little bit of liquid on the bottom of the pot. That's perfectly fine. It'll dry up as soon as it gets uncovered. And we're gonna serve it with some roasted chicken and tahini salad. And this chicken is a new recipe that I'm working on. I don't know if I'm a fan of the combination of flavors that I put. It does look good, but it needs some work. Anyway, the recipe for the Freekeh Pilaf will be in the caption. I hope you guys liked this video. Let me know in the comments how much you liked it.